All right, good morning and welcome once again. This is Crossfire on Channel 196 on Star Times. This is Cool TV. My name is Dapo Banjo, and I have with me on the show, as usual, we drive this show together, Barrister Ishoma Againe. Ishoma, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Nigerians, and welcome to the show today. I have no business greeting Mr. Dapo because I'm unhappy with him.
Okay.
On a beautiful Thursday morning.
All right, that's fine. I mean, saying that on the national television is not a big deal. We differ on issues in the studio. Anytime after the studio, we can resolve on whatever issues that we need to talk about. But most importantly is the fact that we have a lot of stories that are trending, and we quickly will be doing justice to one or two or three of them. We will be addressing something really very important today as Nigerians especially relate with their environment. So we have an environmental expert who will be joining us in the course of the show, and we definitely will be talking about our immediate environment, the ecosystem as it has to do with plants, animals, organisms, and then as it relates with the non-living part of the ecosystem, the moon, the star. And you'll be wondering, is this so abstract, or are we talking about paranormal science? No, we're talking about something that, if not well taken care of, may eventually be very detrimental to a lot of, people's health in your immediate environment.
It could lead to human extinction also.
Exactly. Okay, so, but we'll be coming back into that, at a point in the show when our guest joins us, and then we will quickly go into one or two stories at this point in time that are making headlines, and the one that is really, really very sad is about, the traffic and the gridlock that Lagosians are suffering as we speak. The Oshodi-Apapa Expressway, the gridlock there in recent past is nothing to write home about. And the Lagos State the Lagos State Assembly are saying we are helpless. And then you begin to wonder, when the legislative are saying we are helpless, we can't help you. Now, let's quickly take that story in full. The Lagos State House of Assembly says it won't be able to legislate against trucks and tankers and tanker drivers who park along the Oshodi-Apapa Expressway. The House, through its chairman of the House Committee on Works and Infrastructure, Mr. Rotimi Olowo, said the fact that that the road belongs to the federal government makes it impossible, for them to be able to make any law that will stop the trucks and the drivers, parking along that road. The House gave directive last week that trucks parked at the Lagos-Apapa Oshodi Expressway be removed with immediate effect, but nothing was done. Honorable Olowo came back to say, who represent the Shomolu constituency 1, explained that it is regrettable that the federal government has not taken any concrete action, as to correct this situation, in spite of all the intervention made by the state government to find a lasting solution to the problem. It's so unfortunate. Ishoma, I am a Lagosian. I live in Lagos. I do my business in Lagos. Yeah. My families are here. Every little thing that I do about my life revolves around, Lagos, Lagos State. And yet we have a functional legislative house, that's the state, House of Assembly, and they are saying that we cannot help you as Lagosians. Anybody who is living in the corridor, in the Apapa Expressway corridor, have been left to take care of our situation. Let me tell you the devastating part of this story. While in the very midst of the gridlock on everyday basis, we have had causes to worry about miscreants who go around to rob people of their properties while in that traffic. And life is being lost on everyday basis because sometimes the trailers, they come around with their containers and they are never really properly locked on the trailers. And sometimes they fall off and they cause major accident on the Apapa Oshodi Expressway. And we have a lot of people who live around that place. People who are coming from Iba, you definitely will be passing through. Amuwodofi, people who live in Oshodi, people who live in that very environment.
Mr. Dapo, I like how you're speaking about this issue passionately, but also understand that is my axis. So if there's anybody who should tell you much about the gridlock, the traffic gridlock on that axis, I should be the one. In as much, yes, I understand how chaotic traffic can be on that axis. In fact, this morning I spoke with my brother, and he's still on his way to work This is someone who left home at about 5 a.m. and he's still stuck in traffic. But also understand now, as regards this issue, I understand the Lagos State House of Assembly coming out to say we are helpless and we cannot help residents of Lagos State. This shouldn't make Lagosians feel bad or feel like they have, a House of Assembly that doesn't care about them. They actually care about them. And if you also understand jurisdictions here, there is no way the Lagos State House of Assembly can make a law for a road which belongs to the federal government, because you cannot exercise authority outside your domain. Now, the only thing the Lagos State House of Assembly can do as regards this issue is to do what? Write or send a petition to the National Assembly, calling their attention to the incessant traffic situations caused by these tankers or the tanker drivers. If recall a while ago, or if you recall the incidences which has happened between the Lagos State government and these tanker drivers, even how the Lagos State government had to give them land spaces and all of that for them to park their trucks rather than parking on the expressways to blocking the expressways. You see that even the Lagos State government, they've gone the extra mile to making sure that these tanker drivers do not park on the road. We have given you very good land spaces for you all to go in and park your trucks. Why do you still prefer to park on the road?
Now,
so you see that, So you said the Lagos State government, they know they can't pass a law on that regard. But what have they done? They've tried to find solutions, but which has not been adhered to.
Now, if these instructions are being defiled and the tanker drivers are not,
they were even towing their trucks. And what happened? They refused to distribute fuel of petroleum products. At the end of the day, who suffered it also? Lagosian system.
Now, is it that they supply only the Lagos State environment?
No, not only.
Okay, so they come into Lagos. Hold on. They actually come into Lagos to load, and then they go to other states of the Federation.
Exactly.
Now, I would have expected, this is a right-thinking process for me. I'm just imagining this scenario in my head. Mm-hmm. We have tanker drivers who come to the Apapa depot to come and load products, to distribute, to
load and
Lagos.
Offload.
Exactly. And its environ. The state belongs, the road in question belongs to the federal government.
Exactly.
Look at it this way. Does that mean the federal government can just decide one day and say, this road belongs to us and we want to cancel it? Or this road belongs to us and we don't want anybody to pass it any longer because it is a federal government in Lagos State. Mm-hmm. I am expecting that there should be a handshake between, just like you said, between the state, assembly and the National Assembly, saying that you need to intervene in this matter. And to be very sincere with you, if a federal government property or a federal government infrastructure in a particular state is becoming a nuisance to the state, I expect that the priority of the state should not be the concern of the federal government. It should be the concern of the citizen. It should be the concern of the people who are living in that particular state.
We're talking about lawmakers. Yeah. They should be the ones to educate Nigerians on functionality of the law. I should be able to tell you that, no, you do not do that. And that is the reason why I have told you. Now, let's look at our federal roads, for example, within Lagos State. Yeah. We've seen how they have been neglected by even the federal government, leaving Lagosians to suffer. And leaving the Lagos State government
don't they do intervention on bad roads?
Yes, that is when they decide to do those roads for the smooth operation and use for the people. We're talking about laws.
We're talking about laws. I'm talking about the convenience of the Lagos people.
And that is why I told you that the Lagos State government, they have gone out of their way to make available to these tanker drivers land spaces for them to be able to park, which have not been adhered to. That's why I'm saying the only thing the Lagos State House of Assembly can do now is write a petition, even if they want to make a public petition, to the National Assembly for them to take charge. So the Lagosians and Nigerians will know that they have done their own bit. Because you can't overstep your boundary. Legally.
Looking at it constitutionally and probably look at it from policy angle, maybe they are helpless, really and truly. But I am still concerned about the citizen. I'm still concerned about myself and the people who live in that corridor and how very difficult life has become because of this particular situation.
But now that we have a new, we'll be expecting a new administration to take over. That is, I'm talking about the same party at the national level and at the state level. Let's see the difference.
All right, at
Let's
this
see.
point in time, we will wrap up on this very particular story, and then we'll go on a short break now. When we come back, we will be talking about you and your environment.